quit, don't quit.
There's quite a number of videos doing the rounds on YouTube lately on people quitting their job. In some cases, they have something to fall back on, such as a lucrative side hustle or a huge stockpile of savings. In some cases, they have no backup plan. There's mixed opinions on this, as is the case with literally anything on the internet, but as the title suggests, I'm in the camp of do not quit your job, and I'll go over the many reasons why in this video, but I'll also mention a few instances in which I would consider quitting your job, just to be fair. So we'll start off with reacting to other people's comments on YouTube videos on this topic. This comment is interesting. It insinuates a 9-to-5 is not the stable source of income, and that you can get stable income from other sources. Your 9-to-5 is your foundation. Don't leave it until you have a stable source of income. Well, jobs are the most stable source of income. What other alternative is there in terms of stability? There's 15 income stream ideas I have in mind that are 100% feasible to have at the same time. Maybe even more if you consider other potential side gigs like animal breeding and participating in medical trials. However, the only super stable source in that video are the income ideas that revolve around jobs. If you have a business, your clients can cut back costs easy. I used to be a personal trainer, and I had to run it like a business. Clients cancel on you, clients stop training because they need to cut back on their own expenses personally, just like any business. Look at the layoffs recently. Why is this happening? Because companies need to cut costs. Why? Because they're not generating as much revenue. Why? Because the clients for said companies are cutting back on their own costs. Business income is not stable. Stock trading is not stable. Who knows what the market will do? Recently, we just had that huge sell-off due to DeepSeek. No one saw that coming on the Thursday night, but by the time Monday morning opened, so many tech stocks were trading down hard. Even things like dividend income, companies can cut the dividends they pay. If you rely on, withdrawing portions of your stock portfolio, for instance, you're going to need a huge buffer/stock portfolio in the first place. How do you get this? From working and saving up for ages. Or investing up, whatever. Even stuff like rental income isn't as stable since you need to hope there's enough people looking for housing. Albeit, this is still pretty stable in all honesty. But obviously this isn't as simple as, just get a rental property, bro. Most people can't even save up $5,000 in their accounts, so how are they going to buy a rental? So anyway, my point is, jobs are the most stable source of income. Other sources are not. Now, many people online always say jobs aren't stable. Yes, in many cases, some jobs aren't stable, but a career is stable. If I lose my accounting job, is that it for me? Game over? No. Why? Because I have a career. I have a skill set/education in a particular in-demand career field. I'll get an accounting job elsewhere. So maybe jobs aren't stable, but careers are. I know AI is rapidly evolving and changing some careers such as graphic design and music, but for the most part, a career is more stable. If you want to argue against this, my counter-argument is, okay, what's more stable than a career then? Because your answer can't be a business. I see so many comments saying, a job isn't stable, a business is. What are you talking about? If business income was stable, there wouldn't be so many layoffs. Let's use my business, for instance, my YouTube channel. Look at how much the ad revenue fluctuates. I never have any clue of how much I'd make. Even if my channel was big enough to generate an income that replaces a salary, I'd never have any idea of what I'd make each month. Even my first business as a personal trainer, not stable at all. If you run a business and your revenue starts to drop, you as the business owner takes the hit immediately. But if you're an employee of that business, chances are you're not going to get fired straight away or laid off or whatever. Usually it's like a few months in the making, but that whole time the business owner is copping the heat and you as the employee are still getting paid your normal rate. The company I work for had some layoffs in recent years, and it was kind of like a long time coming. Like as soon as revenue started to drop, it's not like they laid off employees straight away. They waited for the revenue to consistently have dropped, and then they implemented the layoffs. So all that time, the business was taking a financial hit, but the employees were not. So that's what I mean by careers or jobs are more stable than a business. So this is why you don't leave your job. It's your stable, secure source of income. You know you have money coming in each week. Maybe you have casual employment, which means your hours are inconsistent, but in many cases people have either a full-time or part-time roles, so their hours, and thus pay, is guaranteed. With my jobs, for instance, I make about $127,000 a year between the two of them. I work about 60 hours each week, 7 days per week. I have a full-time role in accounting. I know what I get paid each week from the office, and I know I have shifts every weekend at the supermarket job. This job obviously doesn't pay as much as others, but it's so stable. There's always hours available, and even in the worst economic conditions, people will spend at supermarkets. Yes, it's a pain in the ass working all day each weekend, but I need the money. I also trade stocks and have a YouTube channel. Why don't I leave the wagey job to pursue those endeavors harder, like what most YouTubers would suggest? Because wagey job is stable, the others are not. Plus, you can lose money on a rogue stock trade. You can lose money on your YouTube channel if the ad revenue doesn't exceed what you spent on video editing software, microphones, thumbnails, etc. Recent stock trades have been okay, but I've lost money on my channel this year, and every other year actually. I haven't lost money by working at the wagey job. The only way you can lose money by going to work is if you get some sort of speeding fine on the way to work. In that case, you wouldn't have received that fine if you didn't go to work. Point is, you can never lose money by going to work. You can by starting a business, by trading stocks, by gambling, by animal breeding if you can't recoup the costs of the animal, by selling stuff online, maybe no one buys your product, and you've just spent money on something obsolete. Hell, you can even lose money on property. I know someone who's losing 40 grand a year between his two properties. Usually people suffer that loss to reap the gain of the property increasing in value, but his properties aren't due to their locations, so you can never lose money by going to work. Now, to directly address this comment, don't leave until you have a stable source of income. He basically means don't leave until you have a side hustle that's stable. Well, good luck with that. Or if you have enough money saved up, which you can only get from working for quite a while. Careers/jobs are always the most stable option. If you don't agree, tell me what other option is more stable out there. Yeah, a handful of businesses are super stable, but chances are, whatever business you start is not that type of business. It'll be volatile, like mine, and most other businesses. Next comment, I work a 9 to 5 as a locksmith safe in tech. People constantly ask why I don't start my own business. They think you can just be your own boss and magically work 25 hours a week and make millions. No, you have to work much, much more as a small business owner than an employee, and you're taking all the risk. If the business fails, it's your job and invested time and money gone. Yep, I've been talking about careers over business on this channel for years. I also made a video on where you should be prioritizing your time, and I argued that for a business, if it fails, you start from scratch. Whereas with a career, if I lose my accounting job tomorrow, I didn't just lose all that money I earned over the past 4+ years. I didn't just lose all my experience. I can use that experience to transfer over to another job, and I don't have to repay all that money. If you have a business that fails, all that money you poured into it goes to waste. I suppose you could use that as experience on your resume, but in many cases, people's businesses are unrelated to a career they pursue. Example, my business is a YouTube channel. Yeah, there's some career stuff, but it's not like I'm an accounting channel. So if I left my full-time job, went all in on YouTube, kept pouring the ad revenue back into this channel, and lived in my car eating 2-minute noodles for years, my channel never takes off, then I decide to call it quits, all that money is wasted on something that never generated any money at all, or it never generated profit. And now I can't really use those skills I learned for something else. I guess if your business was related to a career, example, you're a plumber who left to start their own thing and that didn't work, and you went back to apply for jobs, you at least have plumbing experience still. But this is uncommon. That's usually not what people are talking about when they mention a business. Usually they refer to stuff like a YouTube channel, dropshipping, delivery driving, or some other low-skilled type thing with low barrier to entry. I also made a video comparing a business to a Pokemon Nuzlocke. A Nuzlocke is a self-imposed set of rules in Pokemon whereby if you lose a battle, you lose the game. Start over. game over. There's other rules, but you get the point. In a real Pokemon game, you just go back to the Pokemon Center, back to the last checkpoint. If I lose my accounting job, back to the last checkpoint, which is 4 years of experience, my education still intact, and all that money I earned over the years. If my YouTube channel gets terminated, game over. No checkpoints for me. I don't know about you, but I much prefer stability. Maybe it's due to my upbringing. I never really had much at all. So seeing money flow in each week is much preferred for me. Additionally, if you're good enough at your job/career, you can get pretty flexible options. My accounting gig lets me chop and change my hours if I want, like within 2 hours. I can't work like 7 p.m. to 3 a.m., for example, nor would I want to, but I can start later and finish later if I want, or I can start early and finish early. I also get to take paid time off whenever I want. It never gets denied. Why? Because they value my skill set, since there aren't many other people like me around my region, so they're not going to piss me off, or I'll bounce. I can't work from home yet though. It's the type of business I work for, so I kind of understand, but other office roles do allow this, which is quite similar to running your own business in a way in terms of working from home and flexible hours. Your 9 to 5 is your insurance policy as an entrepreneur. Yep, 100%. I can make stock trades and pour whatever money I want into this channel since I have insurance, a stable job. As I've said before, I always say a career over a business on this channel. But I never said don't do a business. I've always said if you are going to do a business, do it on the side. I've quit my stable, well-paying job as a doctor a year ago to work in a cool, hyped startup. 3 months later, I was emailing my former boss to take me back, which he fortunately did. Now, although working at a startup is considered a job still, it's a very volatile job since it's for a startup. So this is what you don't see from those "I quit my job" type stories. You don't see them needing to go back to work within a few months. Be careful when leaving stable jobs for much less stable ventures. This is how I think about it. However pointless and futile one's life is, it doesn't mean that it can't be made appreciably worse by having no money. Yep, as doom and gloom as this is, it's true. There's not a lot you can do with no money. If you think your current situation is bad, try it with $0 in the bank account. Do not quit your job. Chances are you need that money. Don't quit, get fired and get unemployment. My motto is no matter how toxic it is, can't quit, it makes me ineligible. Yeah, interesting. Here in Australia, you get redundancy payouts if you're laid off. So in my case, I'd stick around the sinking ship to get some of that sweet redundancy payments. If I saw the business I work for was really struggling with money and they needed to cut costs, instead of jumping ship to a new role, I'd wait around for that redundancy payment. Keep that current job. A lot of companies are laying people off. So this comment was under a video by some dude who was working a wagey job like I do, and I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I could get a better side hustle/weekend gig than a wagey job, but when do you hear of a supermarket doing layoffs? Never. They might do budget cuts, which involves cutting hours for casual staff, but I'm part-time. My hours cannot be cut, which is essentially what I talked about in my Diary of a Wagey Kid video. The power of a part-time contract as opposed to being a casual. Stability. Yes, the supermarket is a stable job, but they can cut your hours. I went through heaps of examples in that video, but my hours cannot be touched. Why? Because part-time contract. If you work a wagey job, this is not the economic climate to leave that job. Thousands of people would love to be in your shoes. I had a nightmare last night that I got fired from my job. I'm not trying to lose my job, and I feel so lucky to have one with good benefits. I thank God. This is very interesting timing. So I had 2 accounting jobs prior to this one, and before I was fired/let go from each of these jobs, I had nightmares I got fired. But in the 4 years I've worked at my current role, I've never had a nightmare about being fired. Until recently, my first ever nightmare about being fired. Is this some unknown psychic ability of mine warning me about the future like my prior nightmares? The reason I think this happened is because the company I work for didn't make anywhere near as much as they should have in a recent month, so they're going to need to slash costs to justify existing still. Now, without doxing myself or my company, there is a path in which I see my role being made redundant by the business. However, it's kind of far-fetched. It's quite the stretch. I highly doubt it'll happen. It would kind of screw up a lot of how the company runs, but it's still possible for the company to exist without my role. It would involve some splitting of roles. That splitting of roles could cause issues that the company does not want to deal with, but it's better than completely going under. This is part of the reason I updated my resume recently. I update it from time to time just for fun, since yes, that's what I consider fun, but it's also so that I feel prepared for a layoff, even if it doesn't take that long to refresh your resume. Like, I am more likely to lose my accounting job than my supermarket job, despite the fact my accounting job requires education and a higher skill set. But regardless of if redundancy is a risk for me personally, I'm not leaving my job. I'm keeping the stability while I have it. I mentioned in a prior video that stability was my preference over more money. I've actually lost money by being stable, but this stability really assists with real estate, which is a topic for another time. Blah, blah, blah. Chasing your dream can end up in bankruptcy if you're not hyper motivated. Yeah, I agree, but I'd also say chasing your dream can end up in bankruptcy if things don't go exactly to plan. A lot of things need to go right in order for your business to work. I've made about 190 YouTube videos, and not a single one of them has gone viral. Some have reached random algorithms, but not a single one has even reached 7,000 views. Meanwhile, there are channels that just started who've got their $100,000 view video already. If my goal was to make YouTube my main thing, I'd need that one viral video, at least one. And yet, 190 videos later, still none. Still no viral videos. If I had poured all my money into the most fancy video edits ever, it doesn't even matter if no videos end up going viral. You could argue, if your videos had much better edits, they would go viral. My counter argument is, nope, doesn't matter. Videos with much less editing than mine, example, someone in their car talking with zero script, lots of long pauses, and a lot of incoherent rambling, or in their room with worse audio than me and they're just yapping to the camera, those videos did way better than mine. Sometimes it's just pure luck. I know volume negates luck. The harder you work, the luckier you get, but here I am, still waiting for my viral video. I probably need to doomabate, really. I need to say, I'm 28 and working a wagey job, what happened? Or something like that. Just look at the videos of people talking about being unemployed, or laid off, or not being able to find a job, versus my videos on literally helping you make better decisions that will land you a job. No one cares in today's economy. They don't care to help themselves, they just want to complain. So maybe I need to up the whinging and simmer down on the helpful content, which is exactly something I predicted a while ago now. I predicted the content gold rush, which was just complaining and reacting to people complaining. So long comment short, he basically said he had a business, liked it, but it was getting hard to make money, so he opted in for the rat race life, and now he's chillin'. Exactly. Yes, some business owners have it easy, but you can have an easy life with a rat race job too. You need to build up skills and experience and education in an in-demand field, that way you have the power. My work is chill and lets me have annual leave whenever I want, since I am valuable, but I'm not totally irreplaceable to the point where they let me work from home. As skilled and educated as I am, I haven't gained enough years of experience to demand absolutely everything. I see so many college grads literally turn down jobs since they're not hybrid, or worse, not fully remote. Dude, you were so lucky to even have a role like that in the first place. You haven't earned your right to work from home this early in your career. As much as I don't want to sound like a boomer, so many grads think they're top dog and deserve heaps. No. When I have like 10 years of experience, that's when I'll be able to demand what I want. But not now. I do get a lot of what I want since I have my CPA and am competent at my job, but I'm not in a position to get everything I want. Example, no work from home days, and I'm underpaid for my labor market rate, but there's way more factors that go in favor of my current job versus against. No job is perfect. And again, this is not the economy to be job hopping. All this TikTok, whatever that is, university and YouTube University videos telling people to forget their 9 to 5 is absolutely insane. Yeah, exactly. A bunch of people who, A, got lucky because they live in a richer country, got lucky on the algorithm, or were born into a rich, well-connected family, or B, earn less than me, trying to tell me to quit my job. Peak humor. You never see the people who listened to this advice and got wrecked. Here are some examples. I quit my cushy job in 2017. Within 18 months, I was sleeping in my car. It took years of daily work to get a career going again. I did spend pretty much the entire time working on my skills to change roles. However, I definitely could have changed some stuff in my personal life to accommodate my career change without losing income from my job. Why would you quit a cushy job? Most people quit their job since the work is terrible / the work environment is terrible. So why quit? Oh, right, because some nobody on YouTube told you to. Imagine that. Easy job, but 1.5 years later, you're living in your car. And it's not like he got fired either. He left voluntarily. Here's another example. Do not do this. It's in relation to quitting your job. I did this a month and a half ago because I watched a bunch of these YouTube videos and got hyped up. Yeah, it feels good for a couple of weeks, but if you were in a position like me and can't find another job, especially if you live in a smaller rural area like me, I had to go and beg for my old job back because I ran out of money and due to winter right now, couldn't find any other work. Just stay in your job. Keep saving money. Work through the BS until you for sure have another job or income lined up. Not everyone has the right setup to do this. Yep, a bunch of yappers with the YouTube channel convinced you to basically derail the momentum you had in your life. All for what? For a bunch of YouTube clicks. To be fair, good strategy. Like I mentioned earlier, people don't want to help themselves, they just want to complain and doom and gloom. Call of Duty video tells me to quit my job. Sounds like a plan. I'll just quit my job, who needs income? Yep, lol, exactly. Just manifest your way into paying rent, bro. You can eat your mindset for dinner, bro. Just listen to some gamer online. I did it. It's been a month. Wish me luck, please. I definitely need it. Why do you need luck? Isn't quitting your job the way to escape the rat race? You should be killing it. Oh wait, it's because you absolutely need the luck. Quit your 9 to 5 so you can play video games. Yeah, dude, didn't you know? The game of life and video games are the same thing. If you make money in video games, that equates to money in your real life bank account. Duh. So this is quite possibly the most cope response of all time. This is a response from the guy who made that video that the recent comments are slandering him from. He says, the amount of people I know that quite literally did this, personally and friends of friends, that now make 6 figures per month is insane. Quite a good play if you've got the personality for it. Wish people understood how much money circulates the gaming space. All the best. Of all the things that didn't happen, this didn't happen the most. So you're telling me, gaming, which has one of the lowest CPMs on YouTube and is extremely saturated, any 12-year-old kid can become a gaming YouTuber. Basically anyone can. Takes minimal skill. And don't be coping in the comments talking about the skills involved in a video game. If you think that involves skill, try getting a useful degree or getting fit. Then tell me how hard video gaming is. But anyway, a super saturated industry with a low pay grade that requires no skill, and it just so happens that you, personally, know an amount of people that make 6 figures per month, so more than $1 million a year, from video gaming. Of all the people who make $1 million per year playing video games, you just so happen to know them? Yeah, sure, bro. You can't even argue it's all sponsors since, again, it's saturated. And if it's not saturated, and sponsors that pay 6 figures a month is so common, why are y'all even working jobs? Just play video games and land sponsors, bro. It's easy. This guy knows a lot of people that did it. He's totally not coping to try and make himself not look like an idiot for telling you to quit your job, so just do it. Don't listen to me, a guy grounded in reality. Listen to someone who made one YouTube video on quitting your job once. A hot trend a while ago now was making Pokemon Nuzlocke videos, since Pichu was basically the only one who was doing them. But now even that's becoming saturated. Someone's video showed up in my algorithm about his Pokemon Nuzlocke. It was a long-ass video that was extremely well edited, but he had like literally less than 100 subs, and it wasn't his first video. And his video had like not even 300 views. So even in that case, he barely got any views/subs from that. I can't remember the video now or I'd give it a shout out, but like, if he couldn't even crack 300 views on a video like that, what chance does he have of making 6 figures per month on gaming? Oh, play a different game then. Oh yeah, sure bro, just play the games that everyone else is already playing. That's totally not jumping into an oversaturated market. Look, the point is, this guy's full of shit. If you want to listen to him instead of me, go ahead, but don't come back asking me for tips on how to get back into the labor market after your streaming career fails. So this comment here basically says, yes, my mental health took a hit, but I need money. Yeah, unfortunately this is true. You need money regardless of how you get it, even if it hurts. You think I enjoy waking up to an alarm 6 days a week? It would be 7, but on Sundays I work a later shift at the supermarket. You think I enjoy the sound of that alarm? You think I like waking up at 6:50 a.m. on a Saturday after a full week at the office instead of sleeping in like 99.99% of all my other office counterparts? I make the best of things, and although I do enjoy my grind to an extent, I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't need the money. So I'll stop the reactions here or this video would be hours long, but I'll rapid fire a few bullet points on why you should not quit your job, and then a few on why you should quit your job, but it'll be quick since I made my points in this video already. Don't quit because 1. You need money. Where else are you going to get it from? Getting a job is the most efficient way of making money. 2. Where else are you going to get your money from? A business, stock trading, dropshipping, gaming online, YouTube? What other options do you have? 3. This economy/job market is awful. This isn't 2021 anymore. No great resignations here. Now is not the time to be leaving your job. You'll be so hard pressed to find a new one. Now, only quit if 1. Your mental health or physical health is taking a huge toll from this. A recent video showed up on my algorithm, and it was this dude who's got stage 4 brain cancer. It's game over for him around October of 2025 this year. He was living a good life, being fit, working in sales or tech, I don't know, but very suddenly his health deteriorated and it was because of his terminal cancer. Now, obviously work wasn't responsible for his cancer, I don't think, but the point stands, life is fragile and short. If your job is drastically accelerating your appointment with a Grim Reaper, leave. I have yapped in this video about money being important, but health is way more important. I'd rather be broke than have ill health. The thing is, people tend to over-exaggerate how bad their job is on their health. If you only get the Sunday scaries and aren't ecstatic to go to work each day, stay. That's not what I'm talking about. However, if your job is giving you game over life thoughts, leave. It doesn't matter how much money you have if you're no longer playing the game of life. 2. If you have a backup option, aka a side hustle that actually worked, it makes enough to replace your income, or you've got some huge safety net of savings, then and only then should you consider leaving your job. So this video was why you should not quit your job. Life ain't no joke. There's countless examples of people online complaining about not being able to find a job. So why would people quit when so many people want a job? Don't listen to the clickbaiters on YouTube. Chances are you need the money. My 2 jobs make me $127,000 a year. I do have other streams of income, but they don't come anywhere near close to replacing my income from my jobs. And even then, I can make losing trades. I'm actually still hemorrhaging money on this YouTube channel. I can never lose money by going to work. Plus, these jobs are funding a real estate investment. That'd be much, much harder to fund if I didn't have stable employment. In 5 years from now, when I'm living in my house that pays for itself, because the rental income will exceed my mortgage repayments because my down payment is so huge, and the size of the house and where it's located and shit, basically the house will pay for itself, right? So I have that and my second investment property also making me good money. And that was only possible because I didn't quit my jobs because some YouTubers told me to. Let me know how your life is going with your failed video game streaming career, which you only did because you quit your job because someone on YouTube told you to. Were you considering quitting your job before this video? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. That is all.